Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first Cinema Sit-Down. I am here today with, please start introducing yourself.
Hi, I'm Brendan Barnes, and we could talk about zombies.
Hi, I'm Brandon Harrison. I love zombies.
I am the host, Cassidy Lassier, and I chose the movie today. We are going to be talking about The Train to Busan, but I also have two more people to my side here.
My name's Nick DiStefano.
I'm Riley Windorf.
We're going to be talking about The Train to Busan, short little summary. It is a movie about a daughter and father, and we follow them through the early beginnings of a zombie apocalypse as they try to get from point A to point B on a bullet train in Korea. It is a Korean zombie film as well. So I guess we could just start off overall. How did you guys feel about the movie as a whole circle?
As a whole, I actually rather enjoyed the film. It had a lot of highs and lows. Thematically speaking, it was a really interesting choice to go with the fast zombie versus the Romero type zombie, the slow stumbling. But I think they ended up working out in their favor and making sense canonically.
That movie made me feel so anxious throughout. Like, I couldn't. If I watched the movie alone, I feel like I probably would have broke down. Like you said that at lunch, I would have broke down personally because I don't want to give away any of the story just yet. But at the ending would have made me cry. I would have cried when the big muscly guy, whatever his name was, don't know names. When he sacrificed himself, I would have cried because he had a family coming and all that. And I was like, oh man, it was just very emotional for a zombie movie. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I have seen this film once before and I wanted to re-watch it. I don't remember it being as stressful as it was, as anxiety-inducing as it was the whole time. I do remember the PTSD it gave me at the very end, the emotional goodbye, which obviously we'll make our way to. But yeah, I don't remember it. Like, I had back pain the whole time because I was holding all the stress on my shoulders the whole time. But I do like it. It's just really stressful. And make sure if you're gonna watch it, that if you are an emotional person, that obviously I'll recommend tissues to have ready to go because that end scene is like, it hits pretty hard. So what are your overall thoughts on the film?
Yeah, I'm with Harrison. You know, it was very anxious. I also thought it was pretty suspenseful. You know, a lot of blood and all the zombies and stuff. I felt really depressed towards the end, though, when the pregnant lady's husband like sacrificed his life. And, you know, he was using all this strength and stuff to, you know, try to save him with the daughter, like the little girl, and her dad. And so it just, you think like, man, like how is he doing this? Like, is he gonna be able to fully succeed? And, you know, once they, you know, were breaking through the doors and stuff, it was kind of pretty much life or death at that point. But, you know, and I was so worried for the dad too at the end.
I really liked the film.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't watch a lot of like Korean films or Asian films in general. I'm a more Western literature person. And so to go in with that kind of mindset, I was just like, okay, but I really liked it. One thing that really made me mad was how like when they like finally got through after like the guy in the suit, you know, after like the dad confronted him, he was like, what's wrong with you? And then he just turned on them and he was like, they're infected. And so then they just segregated them and then tying the door, and then ultimately that leads to their doom. Mm-hmm. And I just thought they had that coming, but
yeah, to be honest,
it seemed like too it was like a lengthy mission because like for me personally, like I thought it was like, oh my gosh, are they going to be done? Are they going to be safe?
They gave us zero time to like
no,
just chill
they
out
did not
and just
give us
you know
time.
give us
Yeah.
a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Absolute stress the whole time. I liked, Riley, you were talking about earlier how obviously the villain is kind of just the zombies.
No.
But the villain is also the guy in the suit. He just represents just like the selfish world, and because that's kind of the whole theme of the movie is giving a helping hand to other people and not just thinking about yourself and really trying to better other people's lives as well as your own. And that guy, the tuxedo man, bad guy,
yeah.
was basically what the dad was in the very beginning of the movie. and then he started to mold and switch into the caring
Yeah.
father. But that's the guy in the suit was who the dad was in the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, the movie does a good job of portraying the dichotomy of good and evil and the fact that people have choices, because they displayed two different paths that the father could have walked down. He could have followed the COO, which was the guy, the tuxedo man, and been a terrible, selfish individual, or it could have followed the path of the self-sacrificing, noble father-to-be who ultimately met his fate protecting and caring for those he loved.
Yeah, I think we should really give a big shout out, big rip to the big muscular man. He's like a superhero. He was taking everyone out, sacrificing anything he could to get to his pregnant wife.
Yeah. He was definitely the best character for me in the film, because he was the counterpoint character, the one that forced the main character to actually look at himself and change.
Almost his role model, almost, you could say.
Yeah, absolutely. And because of there was a situation where the main character, he almost sacrificed the pregnant woman and the character we are speaking of, and after they still managed to get in and be fine, a similar circumstance happened between him and the main character, and he chose to wait for the main character.
And Brendan, piggybacking to that point, I'm just really fortunate that the pregnant woman, she didn't get her life taken away, because I feel like if she would have gotten her life taken away, because she was ready to have a baby, that would have probably had me in some tears.
Right, which the dad, he said, he's like, I promise you, I'm gonna get you to your mother no matter what. And that's not her birth mother, but by the end of the movie, that woman became her mother. I mean, they're walking to the end together, you know what I mean? So
I have to say, I don't think that he had to sacrifice himself. I mean,
yeah, Brandon's got some issues with the final fight.
I do have a problem with that final fight they got into, because I feel like if he was a little bit craftier with his hand placement, because we all know if you fighting a zombie, you don't use your hand to cover their mouth. He could have gave him a little headlock or something. He could have got up there and choked him or something, and then did the whole chain wrapped around his waist thing.
Yeah.
I feel like he had the plan, but he just threw his stuff away.
He got taken down essentially by himself, because that guy represented himself. So he had to overcome those demons, and then at the end he finally saw clear. He just saw his daughter was what was important the whole time.
Yes. But beginning of the movie, when he was Bad Dad, right?
Yeah.
Beginning of the movie Bad Dad, I would like to say, how do you forget that you bought your daughter two Switches or two Wiis already, and then buy a third?
He's too engulfed in his work. His mind is elsewhere.
That was the point. This man was so engrossed in his work, so he didn't even bother to think about it. He asked his assistant, "What do kids like?"
Yeah.
He was working so
destroy
hard that
the
he
world.
straight created a zombie apocalypse, because it was their company that whatever they were working on, that's where it broke out, because his assistant was like, yo, did we start this? Is this my fault? Is this on us?
One of the things that I thought was kind of interesting is that they get to the train car with all the sports kids' friends.
Yeah.
And he just stood there and
froze.
he didn't. Yeah. I thought that was very interesting.
All right, but
heck
here's
yeah.
the thing: they don't know what was going on. They didn't know that it was a zombie apocalypse.
I'm saying
They could have just been mentally diseased. He doesn't know. Don't get me wrong. They were still killing everyone.
Yeah, we're still doing it.
But it still draws the line between do you have the strength in you to kill another human?
Listen. They went through that first car.
Yeah.
They went through it. They there's 4 cars away. We got to get to these people to save them. They went through the first car, no sweat. Second car, if it's the homies, listen. If it's the homies, trust and believe. I'm gonna pour one out for y'all when I get to safety. But I gotta get to safety first. I'm not. No. I don't.
Okay,
I
so
don't,
glad to know that you would, if we were zombies, you would just absolutely to the head. Let's put ourselves in their shoes. If you're in that train, are you surviving or are you dying?
Dead.
Dead.
But how early are we dying? Are we talking
It's just too much work, I feel like, to
I
try
don't
to
think I
even
would
survive. No.
I feel like it's quite I mean, out of the whole train, 2, technically 3, I guess if you count the baby in her stomach, survived of the whole train.
I mean, I'm just worn out
I don't
just
believe
looking
in
at
myself
it.
like that. I don't
Well,
think I
yeah,
could
and I'm just
withstand
worn
that.
out just looking at it. You know?
I absolutely would die, but I. 100%.
How soon on are you dying?
How soon? Like I would be dying in the moment where I thought I could protect the most people. And I feel like that is the same situation he was in. I feel like I relate heavily with that character because I would sacrifice myself in a heartbeat if I thought I could save my family. Like if I thought I could guarantee their safety by doing this, I will say goodbye.
I would hope that's how I would go out, but I feel like my death would be pretty lame. Like I feel like I would just not be able to get up fast enough, and then I would just probably from there become one of the moving zombies.
As soon as I saw people running the opposite direction, I'm up out that seat. I'm going to the next car.
I think I would trip over my feet likely too, and I would go down, and I might just get trampled. I might not even get eaten.
I just don't want to be caught on the toilet. That's the problem. Like, have you guys ever seen Zombieland, where like he has the list, and it's like I think it's like Rule 8: don't go to the bathroom it's like without checking or by yourself or something.
They go, they make it through all these cars, and they get to where they're trying to go, and they're actually gonna, they're in the bathroom. So when they get to their car 15, the car they're trying to get to, if you were the group inside, okay, would you want to invite those people in if you did not know? Obviously, you wouldn't have known what they went through to get there. Would you have been willing to let them inside?
If the young lady who, first of all, she got a phone call from the guy saying, "Hey, we're coming."
Oh, the baseball.
Yeah, baseball.
His
cheerleader.
Friend,
She said she was a cheerleader.
Yeah, she was a cheerleader.
Right.
Yeah.
So she caught a phone call from the guy saying, "Hey, we're coming." And she's like, "Okay, my friends are coming." They're, and like, "Oh, don't let them in, whatever." And then he texts her.
Right.
Have you ever seen a zombie text somebody
That's
before?
true. So you're saying that would be the confirmation for you enough to let them in?
I would be like, and then he called again when they were like out the door, like, "Hey, let us in."
Yeah, and then they're beating the door down, and the zombies have never done that.
The zombies don't know where you are.
Right. Exactly.
So if you're beating on the door, like somebody knows we're inside of here.
I can honestly say that I sympathize with the people in that car.
Oh, the ones who were like, I don't want to let them.
Yeah.
Because when that scene was happening, I was like, I don't know if I would be willing to let these people in just because everything is so unknown.
Yeah.
And I don't know if fear would like overcome me and I'd be like, no, we don't know who these people are. We don't owe them anything. Like, what do we? I mean, for the movie's sake, it makes sense because.
I mean, for survival's sake too, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I would say that if I did, like, if I saw the little girl, I would I would have taken the little girl in and paid the price if it came down.
Right,
to
and
it.
I mean, there's a pregnant lady out there too.
Absolutely.
And the old lady, she was.
Yeah, they had the old lady with them still at that time.
See, I'm not good at analyzing movies, but why did the old lady appear? I feel like that's the last person that.
Because she felt like without her sister, what's the point?
And she felt like the people that she was with too. She was just watching them all fight. Like these people came in and they tried to save her sister.
You're just
and the
worried
people
if
that
one
tried
of them
to save
turned
her
into a
sister
zombie.
got put into another room and they got put in a different group because they weren't safe to be around. She's like, these people, I don't want to be around these people, and I have no will to live because my sister's gone. So I might as well just take them all down with me.
That's true.
Like she kind of cast judgment on them. She's just like, these people aren't worth saving.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't.
I mean, okay, so in that scene too, there's the our second villain, might you say? Okay, so Riley, I want to just know your take on Tuxedo Man because I know that you did not care for him, but I just want to hear your hot take.
See, I did not like Tuxedo Man for many reasons because Tuxedo Man, he was just so selfish, and while the dad like grew over the movie, which I liked, but he was just like, when they were after the zombies had attacked the car and they had moved towards the the 6 group of people had moved towards the conductor, him and an employee of the train were in the bathroom, and he sacrifices the employee, which I thought
he lies to him. He's like, yeah, it's good to go out. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then he just like tricks him, and I was just like, dang, that's pretty dirty. Yeah.
He even sacrificed the conductor who ran off of a moving train to try to help him, and then he kind of threw him to the zombies and then got on the train himself.
Yeah, and then like as a zombie, he's like, please take me to my mom, and it's just like,
nah, we don't have time for that.
it's like, get out of
Sucks.
here.
Sorry, dude. So I guess while we're on that, we can talk about the last scene of the movie after the dad gets bit by Tuxedo Man, and he knows he's gonna turn to a zombie, and his daughter is kind of like, the whole movie she's been like, I want to go with my mom. I'm over you. It's my birthday, and I don't want to be with you. I want to be with my mom. And then at the very end, she just can't let go of him. Like, that's all she wants is her dad, and he has to leave. And that's probably the first time where in her life she really wanted her dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, just as a quick little thing, worst birthday ever.
Yeah, that what a terrible birthday.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
that poor
Yeah.
Like,
girl.
I've had some pretty bad birthdays,
She's gonna have
and I
trauma for
imagine
the rest of her
I'll probably
life.
have at least a couple more going forward. But not a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
Hopefully
no.
not a zombie apocalypse.
No.
We
Yeah,
don't
when
know.
I saw the words in that say it about like it being her birthday, I was like, wait, are you serious? It's her birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
And she's having to deal with all this, and
Zombie-
she's a young child.
She's a young child. It's her birthday. She just wanted to see her mom.
She
and-
could have been at a princess party or something.
Her
warming it
dad
up.
got the wrong gift though, so that's kind of on him. He
Yeah,
really should have
yeah.
got his survival kit.
What's the worst gift though? A third Wii or a zombie apocalypse?
I'm gonna have to honestly go with the zombie apocalypse.
Nah,
But-
it's the third Wii. That's
Okay,
The
yeah,
third,
okay,
I'm gonna
fair,
say you
fair.
can't do
No,
the. I mean, you get.
I'd have to go with zombie apocalypse because third Wii you could sell the Wii.
Let's talk about how if that conductor was just paying attention, that the first zombie wouldn't even got on the train. She was not like super quiet. She was a little quiet, but she ran into the door like, conductor, what you doing?
And he's like,
It
oh,
seemed like
train's
it took
ready.
a while to figure it out, did it not?
Well,
And don't you have to check the doorway? Like, okay, nobody.
make sure no
there's
one's
a person
there.
here. What is that?
check the bathrooms. Hey, hello, we're about to leave. Like,
Like, nope.
I'm just saying, if the
send
conductor
the
hadn't
death
paid
train on.
attention.
I'm never going on a train again.
Not on my birthday. At least.
Every time I get on the Amtrak, I always think about this movie, and I always get stressed for
Well,
at least
thanks for
20
that.
minutes. Yeah,
Thanks
so you
for
guys can
that.
share that with me. But I mean, I've never had any zombie issues on Amtrak so far.
So far.
So far. But I guess if it did happen, I would know a little what to do.
Die.
I would say overall, we all enjoyed the movie. It was a good watch. Would we all recommend this movie to the general people?
If you don't like
You
zombies
make
or
a
trains,
good point though. Unless
don't
if
like
you're
Korean
very
films.
emotional.
If you're very emotional,
maybe not.
Yeah, if you're very emotional, be ready. But that is all the time that we have for the Cinematic Sit Down episode 1. Join us next week where we'll have another host, another film, and that's it. Everyone throw up a deuce. Peace.
Deuces.